All right, I think it's recording. Okay. All right, boys. The first Capcast getting started here. Everybody go ahead and introduce themselves.
I'll start first. Slick Act Jack here.
It's your boy OG, you know what I'm saying?
All right, we got Splick Act, we got OG.
Got your boy Dre. I see you.
All right, and it's your ops. We gonna go ahead and get rolling. The first topic today. So everybody knows Ben Simmons plays for the Philadelphia 76ers. Just dropped 42 points the other night. Joel Embiid did not play. It was versus the Jazz, who currently have the best record in the West. Do they have the best record overall?
Yep. And number one in the league.
Okay, so people, based on his performance, saying that Ben Simmons does not need a jump shot in this league. Now, remember, this was in a loss. Joel Embiid did not play. Tobias Harris also scored 36 points. So how y'all feeling like that? Is that cap or is that facts?
I'm going facts. I'm going facts on one well, it's dependent if you ask me. It's fact if the team is gonna support that. So build around that. Same way you do with they did with AI back in the day. You got rebounders, you got shooters. If they're gonna do it that way, it could be fact. If not, I don't see him ever making it like to the championship or out of the East, especially with KD over there now.
All
Colin
right. Well,
Cap.
okay. Split X says
Colin Cap.
cap.
Colin Cap. Nowadays in this league, bro, like shooting is everything. I mean, look at the Warriors. They won the championship off shooting the 3-pointer. You can't shoot, all they gonna do is crowd the paint and you're gonna be done. You ain't gonna be able to do anything. So I call cap on that. Easy to see in regular season, yeah, it's cool. You can drop 42, 50, whatever you want regular season. When it gets to that playoffs, it's gonna be a different game, and they gonna crowd the paint and make you shoot and gonna lose the game for your team. So I call cap.
All right. All right. What about you, OG? You muted, OG.
Go ahead.
All right. Well, okay. I'll go ahead and give my point of view. I think it's cap too. Uh, just like Split X said, you can't have a ball dominant guard who can't shoot the ball at all. Whether that's in the mid range or at the three, because he's just going to be a liability. Well, if he can't shoot, then we'll build a wall, just like they did to Giannis, just like they did to Westbrook, and that stuff don't fly in the playoffs. Because for one, you put all the pressure on the teammates that can shoot, and I don't think the 76ers have those guys. You make it so that it'll be way easier to double team the next best player or the next scoring option when you have the ball, because you're not going to shoot the three, you're not going to shoot the mid range. So you make it easier for the team to double team the next best scoring option, Joel Embiid, because they can build a wall in front of you and they can build a wall so he can't get the ball either. And then you got Tobias Harris, who might be able to do something as far as scoring, but he can't shoulder the whole load when it comes to scoring for the 76ers.
And that's exactly why I said it would have to be dependent on how the team builds it. Now I do get what you're saying. Even if they do build it that way, you put more pressure on shooters. OG, what you think
Yeah,
about the Ben Simmons
man.
situation?
Ben Simmons, right now I have to say cap till he develops a jumper because right now he can't handle a team by himself.
So
It's
you
more
think it's
likely why they
cap?
lost right there.
You think it's cap that he doesn't need a jumper?
Yeah, I think it's cap, bro. In the league, you do need a jumper to be very, very effective. Um, and then it really does. It depends on the matchups too, you know. So like with the read right now, without Embiid, if they surround him with shooters, he might be successful. you know, because he can just attack the basket. But other than that, uh, Cap, man, because he's gonna need with Embiid, he's gonna need to be able to shoot.
So you think
Even
that
I feel
so
that
you and Dre think that he could be successful. You and him think he could be successful if they surround him with shooters.
Yeah,
I
because he
feel
can
like you
attack the
could.
basket, he can pass.
So
He's got to be able to hit free throws. That's the main
I
thing, though. He's not a very good
that's the
free
yeah,
throw
thing.
shooter.
I feel like with it, because I mean, just looking at the just just a basketball scenario, he can't shoot even with or without Embiid. They gonna pack the paint. They gonna sit back and make it's gonna make it hard for him to make a pass, make a play, anything of that nature, because they gonna sit back on him. It ain't like they gonna be up on him so he can drive and kick to the nearest shooter for a three. They gonna sit back and make him shoot.
they
They gonna
don't
make him make a decision.
exactly. They don't have a team that could
They
ever
used to do
be
the same
set
thing to
up.
Blake and
They don't have a team that could ever be set up to do that
yeah, but
because they have two-star players.
That's the thing. They did it to Blake, and then Blake learned how to shoot. Now Blake is a consistent 3-point shooter. So now you
He's
can't
at
pack
least
the paint
yeah.
on him.
a threat at so like
Yeah,
at most ranges.
So as of right now, who do the Sixers have like starting with them? If
Well, this
everybody
is the
was
thing.
healthy,
This is the thing in my perspective. You got a center and you got a point forward. Unless
true.
they trade one of those two, then well, if they unless they trade and beat, then you're never gonna have a team that's totally full of shooters.
Hold on. So you're saying they should get rid of Embiid instead of Simmons, or are you just
No, I'm
saying
saying
for the
that
argument
would
of
be
Simmons?
the more ridiculous route to take when all Ben Simmons has to do is develop a jump shot
True.
that's comparable to Giannis's, and that's not for to say that that's asking too much is ridiculous to me.
Yeah, well, he definitely needs to work on it, but I just feel like I don't know. Like, okay, Danny Green, he's obviously not shooting like he used to. Um, Seth
they
Curry
got
can
Seth
shoot.
Curry. Yeah,
That's why I definitely said the
and they got
team would have to
Harris.
be set
Tobias
up
Harris
for
can
it.
shoot too.
Yeah, and B can pick and pop or pick and roll.
Well,
So if
keep
you go
well,
ahead,
well with okay. So what you're saying? What is like? Okay, what would be a realistic like? How would the Philadelphia 76ers go about acquiring shooters that could make it so Ben Simmons doesn't need a jump shot? Because you see, I mean, there's an example of what you would want in Milwaukee, like at the Bucks,
hmm
right?
yeah, exactly.
And we know for a fact that that doesn't work.
See, but
I'm just
Didn't the Bucks go cold in the playoffs though? Like
Yeah,
shooting
yeah, because
wise.
so you because
yeah, because
you make everybody else
they
beat
made
you in.
Giannis sit back and decision make if he can shoot it or he gonna, you know what I'm saying? They made him pull the trigger, and that's why they went cold. Because I mean, these shooters they gotta get volume, they gotta get rhythm. Most of the shooters in the league, unless you use Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, something like that, you need volume, you need rhythm to get into a groove. On the
Even if
Bucks, that's what they need.
So
even
what you're
if you're
saying is, oh, go ahead.
even if your comparison is LeBron James teams, like no one plays off of LeBron for too long. Like you might get a game where you could play off of them, where you can go under screens or a game or two in a series, but you're not consistently playing off of them into the definitely not into the paint. Like I just don't see Ben Simmons being to the point where he could function as
And,
a
and
like in the playoffs as that type of player.
and you're saying like even if they get like more shooters, like hypothetically, if JJ wanted to come back and it's JJ and it's Steph, um, and then you got Ben, you still got Embiid and Tobias. Let's just hypothetically, if that's it,
Well,
you
what do
saying
you?
it's still too much on all the other shooters?
Well, where do you want? You want Joel Embiid to get in the corner like Kevin Love?
I mean, me personally, I run a high pick and roll with Ben and Embiid.
But that's the thing.
Yeah, how you gonna do that if they
That's
if
why
the team is playing off a bend though? What if they're going under
exactly
the
they gonna be
screen?
playing at the free throw line on Ben. They're not gonna play up on him. They're gonna play at the free throw line and make him shoot. They're gonna make him make that decision. You try to
Well,
do a pick and roll at the
okay,
free
yeah,
throw line,
I
flat.
see what you're saying. Well,
Mm.
shoot, well, Ben's your one cutter, maybe put him at the four. Weren't they very successful this year with him playing the four sometime when Doc put him at the four?
So you say take the ball out of his hands?
Hey, Ben can backdoor cut
That's
on
the only way I can see
anybody.
that can work. That's the
Yeah,
only thing I can see that works if they put somebody else at the one, whether it's
I
Seth or
just
whatever. If they put a shooter at the one and put Ben as a slasher, and
yeah,
even he can run a high pick and roll with the
exactly.
one, and he can do slash or kick the Embiid, kick the Harris, something like that. That's the only way I can see that can work. If he's
so
ball
Nah,
dominant, they would not work.
the only way for Ben Simmons to be successful without a jump shot is to essentially take a role, be a role player.
Pretty much.
now, like breaking it down now, I'm trying to look at it like just vision it. I mean, I know I said fact, and I believe he can be successful, but as far as being as ball dominant, like you mentioned, if you just set a pick, it's easy just to sag off, make it super easy. Just sit back because you know where he's going. So overall, at least a midi would be nice in a year or two, hopefully in a year. But if he's going to be successful without it, you probably would have to pull him off the ball if teams are going to cheat down off of the screen, which why would you not if he can't shoot? So, no, I get what you're saying there. But can he be successful? I still say fact, but you might have to pull him off the ball.
Keep in mind, Ben Simmons is 6'10 and he is only 24 years old. He's Giannis, basically. He's Giannis, but he could pass better, but he plays worse defense
And refuses to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
and refuses to shoot at all. So he has everything that an MVP has.
He has years to develop, but that's if he wants to develop
Ben
that.
Simmons
He
is a
puts in
better
the work.
Ben Simmons is a I mean he's a better ball handler, he's a better passer. He could be. I mean, he lit it, right? I mean, you guys watch NCAA. Was he a decent shooter in college?
Not
He at least attempted mid range, not
He
really
attempted
three.
it, but the thing of the matter is, the college three and the NBA three is what, a step or two back. So yeah,
That's
he'll
what I'm
attempt the
saying.
threes
We're
in college.
we're saying if you could, I mean, even a mid range jump shot would change his like game for the better. Like
Yeah,
even
if
if
he
he could
gets a
hit
midi,
turnaround post up jumpers,
Ah,
if he could turn around post up jumpers,
yeah,
tell
I
me
still
that
don't think he wants to
he's
develop that
dominant.
jump shot, man. He's scared to shoot.
Is
He
he
got that
scared
fear
to
of failure.
shoot?
You know what I'm saying? That false.
Is he scared to shoot, or is he just content? Because
He's got that false.
Ben Simmons strikes me as a dude who is content to just
yeah.
play in the NBA.
I feel like he's
Yep.
made it this far and putting up. Don't get me wrong, even though he can't shoot, he puts up numbers, and we all know that. But I feel like he might be content without trying to develop that shot, which is
I
something
don't
I'm shocked at with Doc Rivers as his coach, that he's not at least pulling the shot a little bit more.
I don't think Ben Simmons' goal in the NBA is to win a championship.
I don't think either. I think he's making money, good with that, because he disappears in the playoffs.
Okay, so that's a good topic right there. Like, you don't think he really wants to win it? So you're saying he's more on the Melo trip where, because if reports are right, Melo was supposed to go to Miami, but he chose the Knicks because they would pay more. So you saying he's more on the Melo run, like money wise and
Yeah,
enjoying playing the
all about
game
them
versus
dollars.
the championship?
I don't think
About them dollars.
so. So Melo going to the Knicks, I don't think that was necessarily I don't think it was like foreseen that he was never going to go anywhere with the Knicks. I don't think that was just a foregone conclusion. And that was the first time something like that ever happened. So I mean, even he says, looking back at it, he probably should have went to Miami.
Hmm.
Like, but players were not taking pay cuts to play together. That wasn't a thing. So I
Yeah,
can't
that was
blame
a
him for
first
that.
time thing. I got you. But so do you? What makes you think he's okay with with playing, like not winning the championship. It's just because he hasn't tried to shoot it at least over the last couple of years.
I can't even look at Markel Fultz, right? Look how
Okay,
hard he worked to get a
definitely.
jump shot,
Okay,
to
yeah.
get it
So
back.
yeah, so definitely, if you compare apples with apples, he's definitely behind the
Well,
pack when
you
it comes to
well,
it.
look at any player, like any
And
player.
he's a star. That's the crazy thing about it. He's a star. He's a star on a team. Like he's not no role player or anything. He is a star. He's a focal point of that team.
Not only
And you
that,
would think,
not only that, he's a star player on a team that trusted him throughout all the injuries, like that were like, "Well, this is who we want. This is who we go stick with." And he, up close and personal, he saw what could have happened if they decided not to do that in Markel Fultz.
Yeah.
And he doesn't, and there's still no incentive for him to get better and take his game to the next level to make it easier for his team that stuck with him when they could have easily, he could have been in Orlando. And I don't think it would have flown in Orlando if he didn't get better.
oh no. The
Ben
thing is,
Simmons
I
could have
feel that
been
he
a
feels
couple.
content because he has Joel Embiid. He has a other superstar that is leaps and bounds. Like right now, Joel Embiid arguably the best big man in the league. You could argue that point. He has arguably the best big man in the league that can do everything. So he's like, you know what? I can be content in my area and work on what I'm good at rather than work on something that will make me better. And we'll, we can we can make it. We can deal with
Okay. Okay. No, I definitely. I mean, I see the points there. I definitely see the points, but overall, maybe if they move him off the ball, especially if he's just not gonna shoot it, even though he's made a couple this year, if he's not gonna shoot it by playoff time, he's gonna have to be playing off the ball.
I just don't think that's going to be a call that the 76ers are going to make. But okay, so what are we saying about Ben Simmons not needing a jump shot in Philadelphia? Cap.
this Cap. I call Cap.
Okay, so the majority have spoken, and we believe that's Cap. DeAndre says it's
Cap.
fact to a certain extent.
Yep. Gotcha.
Okay, all right.
Hey, that would be dope. Like, we actually doing it. Like, okay, so majority wins, boom, over the whole screen, cap, boom. That's tight.
Yep.
All right. So what we got next?
Okay,
Next,
go ahead.
I kind of want to talk about top 10 ISO ball all time.
Woo. You bring up the list and then share your screen.
Let me see if I can bring up that list.
You're talking about the one that we seen online, right?
Yeah.
All right, Dante. I guess we start with you.
Cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go ahead and you know what I'm saying, entry my way into this. So type 10 ISO players in NBA history. So it looks like we got one at KD, two Kobe, three Mike, four Tracy, greatest all time in my opinion. James Harden, Chris Paul, Allen Iverson, Kyrie, Steph, and LeBron James. So with this list, there's a lot of I feel like there's a lot of hiccups in this list. Like for one, Damian Lillard should be on this list. I don't know what the masses say, but Dame Lillard should be on this list. I feel like Dame Lillard should be on this list over Stephen Curry. Stephen
Ooh,
Curry's a great ice ball player, but he's main team. He's more off ball than on ball. Yeah, he's a great on ball dribbler and shooter, but he's more off ball than anything. He gets most of his points off, saying coming around screen stop and pull ups and stuff like that. Um, when we look at this, Allen Iverson should be over Chris Paul. Chris Paul is an assist leader of his career, in my opinion. And honestly, uh, I feel like Mike should be over Kobe. Like I'm just saying, like my greatest of all time in certain aspects. So why would Mike not be over Kobe in that regard? That's just my opinion. James Harden, good at five. Trace McGrady, honestly, I would put him one. That's just me being biased, um, but yeah, that's how I feel. I feel like Steph should not even be on this list. Damian Lillard should be on this list. Damian Lillard would be over Chris Paul. So I feel like it would be LeBron would be at 10. He cool. It would be Chris Paul, Kyrie, Chris Paul, Damian Lillard, Kyrie, and AI, James Harden, T Mac, Kobe, Mike, and then Kevin Durant. That's how I feel.
I honestly can't agree or disagree. All I can do is critique. I can't because I don't. What is ISO like? What do you mean? Like I don't understand
I
like no
I
screen.
feel like yeah, no screen one on one. Is you and the basket. It's you, the other player in the basket. What you gonna do?
I feel like in that case it's got to be James Harden at number one.
That's what I was gonna say.
It's
See,
got to be.
I understand that. I understand that, but at the same time, Kevin Durant is gonna score more easily than James Harden is gonna.
But is
Yes,
he gonna
James
be?
Harden is a fantastic scorer. He's a fantastic scorer. We know this. He got buckets on buckets, averaging got like 17, 60 point games, whatever would have you. But that's basically in the style that he was in at the Houston Rockets. They let him do that. Versus the Warriors, they didn't allow Kevin Durant to be Kevin Durant. He wanted to be he had to be a team player. He had to figure that out. But one
Okay,
on one, yeah,
here's why I disagree. Okay, so we're talking about ISOing in a game, right?
yeah.
No screen being called. Okay, so I think James Harden is number one, right? And he's over Kevin Durant because of finishing or getting or ending up at the line for 2 points. If James Harden gets past that initial player with no issue and he gets to the hoop, it's either him finishing or it's a foul. I don't think that that's the same case with Kevin Durant. I don't think he's as good as finishing through contact. If he doesn't have a clear advantage over the person that he's finishing on, then I think it's tougher for him to finish or draw a foul.
The only thing I feel that I disagree about that, Kevin Durant was 6'10", 6'11", 7'7" wingspan. Like there anybody he goes against is a disadvantage. That's how I feel. Like there's nobody in this league that one on one could really mess with Kevin Durant. Besides, I mean, you could say LeBron James just because of the size, strength, and mobility. But other than that, there's nobody that's gonna stand in front of Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant legit can one on one anybody in this league and give you a 40 easy if you really wanted to. If they gave him the green light, if they said, "Hey, do what you want, we're good," he would give you a 40 piece. James Harden got that in
I'm
Houston.
just
He got
saying,
the
man. I've
ultimate green
seen
light.
I've seen Kevin Durant miss layups and dunks. So I don't see that from James Harden. You don't see that from James Harden.
I've seen James Harden miss the same. It's all about the totality of that. So like you have to look at it as this man is 6'11" with a 7 something wingspan and can do whatever he wants on the court. Whatever. Like there's nobody in this league that can stay in front of him. James Harden, there's a few people. There's people at his size, strength, and mobility that can literally stand in front of him and do that. Granted, he's a great scorer, so it's not really
Just
people that can stand in front of him because
this
he
so
knows how to manipulate. But
I feel like statistics are in favor of James Harden over Kevin Durant in that particular type of basketball.
I'm okay. Let me see the list again. Oh well, you never finished your actual list, did you, Marcus? I mean,
I can't finish that list because I don't I There's
It's
not. I can't. The only critique that I have is that particular one that James Harden has to be number one.
to me, yeah.
And
I
if
was
you
gonna
look,
say James.
if you try to like I'm doing right now, if you try to look for James Harden missing a layup, that shit is not on. It's not on YouTube. But if you look for if you look for Kevin Durant missing layups or dunks, is there.
I get what you're saying, Split Cat. I definitely do. I mean,
But once again, I want to state before you keep going,
yeah,
I don't look at ISO basketball. That shit is I don't like that shit. Whenever a player's at the top of the key and he got the ball, I'm looking at what everybody else is doing, trying to
yeah,
see what players open before he see it because that's how I like to watch basketball because I'm a pass first player.
yeah. And my issue with the list, Chris Paul, my favorite player of all time. AI should not be under Chris Paul. Kyrie Irving should not be under Chris Paul. I don't
But
think I think James Harden is too far down the list. When I think of ISO ball, I think of one on one v one.
mhm.
Take everybody else off the court. I don't see many people stopping James, and we've seen that in 5 on 5. I mean, honestly, the Rockets over the past couple of years have pretty much been ISO ball. Until the final points in the shot clock, it's a lob or a pass or a shot. I think James got to be one because I'm with you with Kevin Durant. I would put KD at two. Now, one and two could always be a toss up. Um, honestly, the MJ Jordan. I think that one's just gonna go off who you like more, but I would put Jordan above MJ.
Oh, they're the same person.
I know, and Jordan came first. That's why he's gonna be higher in my book.
Now I'm talking
That-
about
And
MJ
Jordan over
like
Kobe.
oh, did
You
I
mean
say
Jordan
that?
over Kobe?
Oh,
he said
so
MJ and Jordan.
obviously that was Cap, but now over Kobe. Um,
Mhm.
it's just James is more in his repertoire. I don't like LeBron being all the way at 10, just because if you put LeBron ISO on just about anybody, he's gonna get a shot, whether it's that weird ass midi.
Well, this is the
Uh,
thing. Well,
No, the thing
I'll
is,
this is the
Jordan.
thing.
I mean, yeah,
Well,
LeBron's gonna get
let
a
me go.
shot, but is it gonna go in? That's the question.
I
and
mean,
that
the
see,
dude is in the, it depends
yeah,
on where it's from, but
I
the man got a good field goal percentage. But my thing is that he probably won't. So he'll go over the person or through the person. That's not what I would consider ISO basketball. And if LeBron gets past somebody, he's gonna meet somebody in the paint.
so
And
what do you consider
odds are is
ISO?
that he will finish or he will draw a foul.
So what do you consider ISO? Because I'm
Mine is
looking at
that
ISO like
so
whoever's in front of me.
this is mine, right? You got a
Okay.
player in front of you. You don't get a screen from either direction.
Hmm.
You get past him in the entirety of getting past the defender. And then whoever you meet at the basket, you score on or you get a foul.
Okay. See, I'm taking ISO as 1v1.
That's
That's
what I'm
how
taking. One
that's
v
how I
one.
was
There's
looking
nobody
at
on
it,
the
just a
court.
straight
You get
1v1.
this person
But
to
aren't
the
we
basket.
asking who is more successful in ISOing? I don't. I feel like you got to get past the you got to get past the defender in front of you for it to be considered a successful isolation play. But I guess you could also consider just scoring on the person to be a successful ISO play.
Mhm. But I
So
feel like that if you put this one person against that one person to the basket, that's how I look at ice. Like, there's
But
nobody else, nobody on the court. Like 1v1, who you got?
well, some of the
1v1, who I got?
Yeah, that's how I feel at the ISO. This list, that's how I feel like it would be. One
well,
v
what's the
one, who
difference?
you
What,
got?
hold on a second. What's the difference between that and saying out of all these players, who's the best?
But that's what I'm saying. Because one, you're talking about when they get to the basket, are they able to score based on rotation, help defense, whatever, what have you? I'm thinking about like if you take the other other 8 players off this court, and you got these two players in a basket, who gonna get you the most buckets?
But see, Ops got a
Bro,
point right there. If you're saying that, that's just saying who's the
who's
best
the best
person, who's the
player
best
on this
player.
list.
Because
Like
But
in
that's not
order.
who's the best player, because as far as who's the best player, it's the totality of things. Like,
Well,
in my opinion, LeBron the best player on this list because not only can he score, he can distribute, play
okay,
defense,
okay.
all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he can do everything in as far as a player. But if it's Park 1v1, everybody spread out. Look, I've got this person against me who gonna get to this basket. I feel like Kevin Durant the best player on this list.
Bro,
Like,
I gotta
you
take
can't stop
LeBron,
him.
bro. I gotta take LeBron.
Whoa, LeBron over Harden 1v1.
That's
Yeah,
what
Well, if
I'm
you
saying. Like,
but
LeBron's gonna look for the.
we're not taking defense into account. We're thinking about strictly offense, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I'm
no
very
defense.
confused by
Just
this list.
who's gonna kill? Who's gonna kill somebody? Kevin Durant gonna kill everybody on his list. I don't care what you say, how you
Well,
feel, whatever.
Oh, so king of the court. Think of it that way.
Yes,
King of the
basically,
court.
it's one-on-one king of the court. Kevin Durant gonna kill everybody on this list, bro.
who I don't think he gonna kill Tracy McGrady. I don't think he gonna kill
That
LeBron James.
that's just my opinion. As far as like, if I'm being biased, T Mac number one on this list. That nigga
How
six
tall is
eight
T
two.
Mac? 6'8"?
He's 6'8", 6'9", 210, and can do everything Mike can do. So, like, that's how I feel. But if I take my bias out of this, Kevin Durant, 6'10", 6'11", with a 7'6" wingspan, you cannot stop this man. Like,
Yeah, I
you
don't
can't.
believe that. I don't believe
So
that.
what about
The only
LeBron?
thing you would
You
have
don't
to
think
do to
LeBron could
Kevin
put
Durant
clamps
is
on him?
make him. That's that. I don't think Kevin Durant is just killing anybody on this list, in my opinion.
I think LeBron
Maybe
can
no.
clamp
Actually,
KD up.
let me stop that. He would probably kill half this list.
I got
But I
LeBron can
also
clamp
think
KD in a
yeah,
1v1, I believe.
that's like a
Nah,
hard.
I feel like KD gonna get him. KD
I
gonna get
don't
him,
think so,
bro.
bro.
I don't, bro.
His
1v1. Now,
game
don't get me
changed
wrong.
that much since they played in the finals that one time. I don't. I just don't think it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna translate like that.
Yeah, I don't see if we just break it down to pretty much a 1v1 offensive only. I know KD got it in him, but I don't. I see LeBron clamping him. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know about that, but I don't. I just don't think.
Not straight clamps, but he not gonna dog walk him like that.
But
And then
also,
I go ahead.
but also, it's a size thing. Like
Yeah.
Allen Iverson would probably kill LeBron James as long as he didn't let LeBron James turn him around. Steph Curry would probably kill LeBron James.
hmm
Kyrie would,
Kyrie would.
like the smaller players, I think would have a better chance at LeBron James and Tracy McGrady and Jordan, probably, maybe Kobe. Uh, Kevin Durant, I don't know. Is his defense on the perimeter shaky a little bit?
Yeah, but
Kevin
his
Durant.
man is enough
I
to
mean, as of late, no. He's been
Like
pretty solid on the perimeter.
you don't think none of these guards could cross Kevin Durant? I can't believe that one.
I think they could
You
cross
gotta
him, but
understand this nigga's
recover
body.
would not be an issue with Kevin Durant.
That's what I'm
Kevin
saying. You gotta
Durant is
understand
a
this nigga's body.
defender that can get crossed and still be playing defense.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I feel like he
That's
relies
how
on
I feel
his
about it.
height. Kevin Durant will let you go by him to try to get a chase down block.
True, which is always not going to happen against these players. Like, I mean, it's tough, man. It's just so much that plays into it, and there's so many different things you can look at.
But like I said, I don't agree or disagree with your list. But the only thing that James Harden is too low. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, to me, I think James
And
is too low.
LeBron is definitely not what you would consider an ISO player at all.
No, he's
That's
definitely a
what I'm
team
saying.
player.
But I feel like Steph. I feel like Damian Lillard should be on this list. That's what I'm saying.
I don't
I,
agree. I don't disagree with that either. I think
I think
if
Chris should
Damian
be
Lillard
taken
in
off.
there, if they is Chris Paul in there, Damian Lillard should definitely be in there.
And that's my favorite player, but I would remove Chris Paul and put Dame in if Dame had to be on this list versus removing Steph.
But defensively, I think all these guys have a chance against each other. I don't think anybody would just dominate any other person on this list, in my opinion.
No, I agree with that. If you're just playing like you said, like king of the court, I feel like anybody on there could win. You never know. Even the
which is
tall
not
people.
something I would normally agree with, but that's a hard list to make.
But like T
And
Mac,
then look how old it is too. Look at the teams.
yeah, T Mac, Orlando Magic, T Mac, Prom T Mac.
Don't you be biased here.
This is
I'm not
OKC
trying not.
Kevin Durant. This is it says OKC Kevin Durant. This list is
Okay, now looking at that, OKC Kevin Durant, no, no.
I'm not saying I'm just saying look how old this list is.
But that's what I'm saying.
Well,
OKC Kevin Durant, no. Now
okay, who
Golden State Kevin Durant, he gets the pass. But OKC Kevin Durant, you could probably drop him down to 4 even, honestly.
I can talk
But
about
yeah, no
OKC
T.
Kevin Durant all day, bruh. But I'm not gonna do that. So and
You're not
Eddie
a
hasn't
fan
had a
of
chance.
OKC?
I just think he's able to maximize his play because he's surrounded by shooters. No, not only that, he's surrounded by elite shooters. You can't. There's no way you could double team anybody on that team.
You're talking about the Warriors,
OKC,
right?
I mean, I'm sorry, the Warriors. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Warriors, yeah, Warriors Kevin Durant, yeah. You can't double nobody. 'Cause that's a bucket. OKC Kevin Durant, you can double him off Russell Westbrook from the 3 point line. Sorry, but you can't. Like,
like you can't even put someone in the paint to contest if he does get past. And but that's a different thing. And he went to just to be his team now is the same way. By the way,
yep, pretty much.
Yeah,
You
because
can't
even
double off Kyrie or anybody because it's gonna be a bucket.
yep, you got Joe.
what happened
Yep.
to Eddie?
He said he got bad
He
service.
said bad connection.
Uh, all right, all right. Okay, okay. So, all right. Well, that's that. I mean, I can't agree or disagree with the list. I think the list is kind of shaky.
I can disagree with that list that's shown, just cause simple fact Damian Lillard should be on it.
So, what we calling? We calling the list cap.
I'm calling the list cap.
List is cat.
Just for it's a lot of flaws with that list. Whether you look,
Yep.
whether a person looks at it as far as ranking them 1 through 10, or the people actually on there.
And if we being
Uh,
honest, there's no such thing as true ISO in the NBA.
that's
Like,
that's true.
That's true.
Every play pretty much has at least one screen, 1 or 2 screens in it. So you're right. It's no actual ISO. So I'm gonna call cap.
all right, well, we calling that list cap. All right. So, okay, what was your topic, DeAndre?
Um, who
And
y'all
then,
got? Now this is gonna be a weird one. Well, I mean, not weird,
and
but
then
it's
we
not.
after your topic, if it's sports, then we'll try to go into something that's not sports.
All right. Well, mine is sports related. So based off of the game we saw the other night, I think it was last night. No KD, no AD. Without AD, can LeBron will the Lakers to the finals
Oh,
in the
absolutely.
Western Conference? In the Western, you think he can will them past the Clippers, past the Nuggets, past? I'm gonna put the Jazz in here. I do want to see them, win a playoff series this year, but you can see LeBron willing that Lakers team to the finals with no AD.
Bruh, this is the thing. The same way that you shouldn't count Tom Brady out in the Super Bowl, you
True.
shouldn't count LeBron James out as far as getting to the finals.
I
So
feel that.
yeah, I think he can. Whether or not he will be able to, that's up to. I mean, that's up to the future. But I won't say that there's no way. It's not possible.
Yeah, I don't feel like LeBron would be able to go into the
Yeah,
finals and win, blah blah blah, whatever that. That's a different topic. But him going to the finals, you can't rule that man out. You really can't.
It's like
man,
betting
without
against Brady in the
without
Super
AD,
Bowl.
Without AD, I don't see them getting out the West.
Oh,
It's too much. It's too much firepower. It's too many good
I
teams.
think,
Put it that way.
yeah, and I
Now
seen that scenario where they were talking about the Clippers and Brooklyn supposed to be going to the finals and all that, but I don't think so, man. I
the
mean, you seen
Clippers
the
not even a
Clippers
lock.
last year fall like terribly in two series.
Yeah, good old
So I
playoff
don't
P.
know. Yep, got to play off Paul George. He failing. Now, I said this before. The Denver Nuggets look tough.
I don't think Denver is gonna be the same team. Jamal Murray already fell off. They lost Grant,
Jamal Murray scored 50 the other night.
Yeah, he just
but
dropped 50.
I just
But
don't
I,
think it's
Just
gonna
dropped
be.
50.
I think the Jazz are a better team than the Nuggets this year overall. I definitely think that.
I don't. I don't think
You don't?
that.
What are y'all
Because
basing
of the
y'all
fact the
opinions
Nuggets
on?
got. I'm
I'm just
basing it off the totality of the team. You got Porter, you got Jamal Murray, you got Nikolai Jokic, like Harris. You got a definite squad. And even last year, bro, they were knocking people off in the playoffs, knocking them off. Like you don't think that that playoff experience on top of the actual team they have is going to propel them
remember
to.
they went 7 games with the Jazz.
Yeah, they went 7 games with the Jazz and beat them. That's the thing. They beat them in 7 games. On top
Okay.
of that, they went and knocked off who they play next? The Clippers, right?
Clippers, yeah.
Knocked them
Clippers
off,
don't count
destroyed
last year. We're not talking
them.
about them last year.
They
They
had
they
plenty of
Destroyed
chances
them.
to beat them, bro. I
no, they
can't.
Yeah,
definitely
I
did.
can't chalk that series up to the Nuggets being better.
But check this out. So they did beat the Jazz in a 7 game series last year. Bro, the Jazz went and added, they got Bogdanovic. They have Jordan Clarkson coming in off the bench. Mike Conley, Favors. You still got Gobert, Ingles, and I mean, of course, the Spider. He's the Spider versus whoever decides to show up with him that night. They have so many players that average in double digits. I want to say it's
you
at
gotta
least five
understand,
people.
Michael Porter Jr. is coming into his own, and even before this man got drafted, they knew this brother was gonna be a problem. He was injured. He's getting back into his groove. This man is a problem. Even all the playoffs last year, you saw it. He had spurts of like dominance. Like you were like this man could be a dominant player. And even to now, he consistent. He's a consistent baller. Like then you got Harris. Harris is a consistent baller. Jamal Murray, he ain't gotta say that man. That man is a monster. Then you got Nikolai Jokic, who is a baller all his own stuff. I feel like they're gonna be
They're-
a problem.
I don't know. I don't like calling it this early. I feel like,
Yeah.
especially the West.
It's basically halfway through the season though. Like it's
I don't
halfway
think
through the
you could
season.
call it. I still don't think you call it. Because we thought the Clippers were going to play the late. Well, we thought the Clippers were going to come
I
out of the
didn't.
West.
the
I didn't.
Clippers wet the bed,
Everybody
bro.
did. I didn't.
The Clippers wet the bed, bro. They had the chance
I
to
didn't think
be
the Clippers.
right there, bro. That's their own fault, bro.
I didn't think the Clippers was gonna be nothing. I saw it because of the simple fact you got two dominant players basically play the same. They play exactly the same. Like you got Paul George and Kawhi Leonard that play the exact same game. Like ain't nothing different between them. Like there's no ups, no downs. They're all the same. And then you have these supporting role players around them that are primarily defensive players. They have a mind state. Besides, of course, Lee Williams coming off the bench and he can do what he do, but
And he hasn't
everybody
even
else is
been
right.
doing good this year. That's my only issue
That's
with
what I'm
Paul.
saying. Like I didn't when everybody's talking about the Clippers, I was like, nah, they
I
wouldn't
don't
make
know,
it past.
man. I don't know about that one
The
because, like you
Clippers
mentioned,
had a
Lou
team
Will,
last year.
the only solely defensive minded player I feel like was like who could only perform on defense was Patrick Beverly. I feel like that was the case with the Clippers. Montrez Harrell was averaging like 20 points, right? That's why he was six man of the year.
Now that was before the bubble. Montrez did not have good games in the bubble. I will
He
say
didn't,
that.
but I'm just saying he wasn't
But
whole
yeah,
defensive minded.
One team that's being slept on is the Phoenix Suns.
I don't know about that. I think they're contenders at this point, right? Isn't that the consensus?
I like them as contenders. I
People,
feel like they
that's the
are.
thing. People are sleeping on them because they think that the Nuggets or the Clippers are, you know, what I'm saying they are the dominants. But the
I
thing
would
is,
put
people
them.
sleep on them.
I would put
They,
them the same way that we put the Jazz and the
yeah,
Nuggets last
they're
year.
gonna be one of the teams you don't talk about during the regular season until it's playoff time, just because of the market. Like since Steve Nash left the Suns, we haven't talked about him until Devin Booker showed up. You know what I mean? Like
True.
they kind of low key like Portland. If Dame wasn't there, we would not talk about Portland.
Now we would because of Melo, but I understand.
Yeah. Oh well.
So
we
what
would
was
because of Melo, but I understand.
okay? So what was the question though?
Well, it all started with can LeBron will the Lakers to
The
the
Lakers
finals
to the finals.
without
Okay,
AD because the AD injury, the way they talk about it, it sounds kind of like the way they talked about KD. How they're saying it's not serious, yet it's something with the, that area with where the Achilles is. I'm not a doctor. I'm just like seeing like, can he get there without AD in the Western Conference?
I
okay.
feel
So
that's facts.
I'm saying he can facts.
Yep, I feel like it's facts.
Oh, I'm calling cap on it. I got to.
Hey, this your second time betting against LeBron.
I did bet against Brady in the Super Bowl. So you know
So
what?
you making a lot of
I
bad
did
calls.
too.
All right. What you had? You said something outside of sports.
Okay, okay. So just to get in something outside of sports, particularly basketball. Okay, so and I brought this up in the chat. Um, black movies. Not I'm not gonna say black movies because that's what I'm trying to avoid, right?
Mhm.
Movies with black leads. Why does the lead always have to, or the lead or some portion of part or part of the movie have to exhibit some kind of black stereotype? Why is it that they gotta? Why I don't understand. So if you watch, is there such thing as a white stereotype? I think there is only a such thing as a white stereotype to other minorities,
Yeah.
But most of the
like
time, it's
this.
looked as the normal.
Yeah. So you don't see anything that you would contribute to a stereotype for white people in action movies with like Tom Cruise or action movies with Liam Neeson or something like that. But if you see an action movie with Denzel Washington, there has to be some type of black stereotype or some type of thing that says, hey, this is a black man. Like this is specifically a black man, not just a man. He's a black man.
You're saying why?
Yeah, why is that? Is that to market to black people or like what? I don't understand. I understand, but I'm trying to just have a conversation about it.
I
I
feel
could.
like it's the market to black people. I feel like you have to, for the producer, director, whatever, they have to put that stereotypical situation in to market to a black audience. That's how
Well,
I feel.
and I'll take it a
That's
step
what it goes.
further. It doesn't necessarily have to be stereotypical, but is being black a part of the character? Like, you know what I mean? Like, does being a black character, does being black and playing that
Like
character, does it
like
have to go hand in
if it was
hand?
a white character, would this
Yeah,
still
could
go
you
the same way
interchange?
it would?
Yeah, exactly. Could you interchange a white character into that black role, or you know, and it'll still feel the exact same? Like, because you could put Will Smith into you could put Will Smith into Mission Impossible. You could put Will Smith into the Matrix, right?
Okay. But
But
can you do that? Oh
But
man,
could you
that's
put?
tough.
could
Yeah,
could Tom Cruise be the equalizer? Could Liam Neeson be the equalizer? Would that look right to you?
You definitely
could.
wouldn't now.
I mean, even as it stands, that you've seen both movies. Why
For
is
some, yeah, for some reason it doesn't sound right. But I see what you're saying. Like they have to have that certain character within them. You know what I mean? Like it's natural for a black person to hop in a movie and be themselves. But if you're asking somebody else, like a white person, to jump in there and do it, like what's a good movie? I can't think of anything that's recent because everything
The
recent.
crazy thing is, Will Smith was supposed to play the Matrix. He chose not to.
I thought I heard that.
That's the crazy thing. Like the Matrix was brought to his attention, and he was like, "Nah, I ain't gonna do it."
Didn't he think that was
That's
like
the
a
wild
little
thing.
BS movie or something that they was trying
He
to
did
do?
Wild Wild West instead of it.
Oh, that's what it was. Oh,
Hmm
a mistake on his
He did
behalf.
Wild Wild West instead of the Matrix. So they chose Keanu Reeves for the Matrix. They came to Will first. So
Well,
just think about it. Just think about that movie and think Will Smith in the Matrix or Keanu Reeves in Wild Wild West.
hell
you
no.
can't do that because the Wild Wild West character was supposed to be like a freed slave. So, and they looked at him that way. But you could definitely put Will Smith into the Matrix without any changes to the character, and it still be the same movie.
True.
And I'm wondering why there aren't. I can't think of a black. And I, and another point to it is that I want to say black movie. Why is that?
Because that's how it's pitched to us. Every time a black person gets a good role, oh, or like I watched the other day on Disney Plus, the Cinderella with Brandy in it, and all I know it as is the Black Cinderella. That's it's pitched to us that way. That's the way we see it when black people get a role
But
or a
okay,
major role in movies. Like, oh, this is a
because
black led thing.
just
You
talking
know?
about it, my opinion about it is evolving. Right?
Hmm.
Is it really pitched to us like that? Like, would you
Okay,
call the Equalizer a black movie?
okay, not the Equalizer. I guess it's only some movies.
Okay, well, okay, let's keep thinking of examples, right?
Okay,
What else? What else would you consider? Okay, a movie with a black lead role. 12 Bridges. You ever seen that?
Yeah.
I've seen it. I don't remember. It's not a movie that stuck with me, but I've seen it. I think bits and pieces of it, so I wouldn't be able to speak on that one.
12 Bridges, right? There's a scene, and
Oh, is
it's
that the one with
Chadwick
Black Panther?
Boseman.
Yeah, I
Yes.
did see it, the
hmm
recent one. Yeah, I did see that. My
hmm
fault.
So here, and this is the tiniest example, but it's weird to me. The movie is about a guy whose dad was
Hmm.
a cop
Yep.
while he was growing up, and he died when he was like 12 or 13 or whatever. He was killed, and so he spends his life, trying to be a cop and live up to his dad's example
Hmm.
of being a straight up clean cop for justice.
Yep.
And at one point in the movie, because Chadwick Boseman's character is known for on the job shootings,
Hmm.
he's like killed like 5, 6 people on the job.
Yeah.
They've always they've always shot first, but he's killed a couple of people on the job, right? So he has a
hmm
reputation for that. So at one point, after these 8 cops get murdered, they're looking at Chadwick like, hey, when you find the people that did this, you need to kill them.
Hmm.
The mayor's office wants to find the killers instead of shooting them because this is a period of time where people are against the police and they don't want it to be like an eye for an eye situation. So Chadwick Boseman character and his partner for the night are talking to the mayor and a person from the FBI who's a white guy. So this white guy is saying something, and he makes a reference calling Chadwick Boseman character a trigger, like because he's killed people in the line of duty. And Chadwick Boseman makes a comment saying, "Hey, you better watch what you're saying, calling me a trigger," implying that it sounds close to the N word.
Yeah.
So like, why he couldn't just be offended by being called someone who kills people as a cop. It had to be about his race. Why do you think that is? And that's not a joke that you. The whole movie is a movie that you could make with a white protagonist. Other
True.
than that,
I'm gonna say it's the times we live in now. It's just
but keep
You're
in
like,
gonna get
mind,
more bait for a
we'll,
black
we'll keep this
for
in
black
mind though.
publicity.
Keep this in mind, right? Chadwick Boseman is a black man who is very pro police, and he has killed people in the line of duty.
yeah.
So I like throughout the
Oh, you're
movie it's
saying
kind of
okay.
conflicting, right? Because you don't often see that, and that's a fairly new movie, so it's in the times of police shootings and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
everything but that specific part could have been done by a white dude, but because Chadwick is black, there has to be like something like that in the movie,
Hmm.
Mhm.
and
I
that's
mean,
just that's my. I'm just saying like that, like that's strange to me.
so like every time it's a black person in a movie, it's always at least more than likely you can always find at least one type of reference to it, is what you're saying.
Exactly, either racism or something with their family, like stereotypes of black families,
Yeah, like the
stuff like that.
movie. I don't know if y'all seen Safety. Well, that was a true story. Scratch that. Never mind. But I don't know, man. I feel like that's maybe the easiest thing that they can definitely come up with. Is I mean, you can always think of some type of racial thing to put in a movie, especially if you have a black lead or even a black actor, period. Um, I don't know, man. I can't really give you an answer on that one.
Well, and like I said, as we're talking about it, my thoughts about it are evolving. So one thing that I guess could be a reason as to why is to create like another like a to create a struggle for the like the protagonist,
Hmm.
right? Another thing that's against him, which is that's real, racism is real and stuff like that. But I'm just one. I don't get why it always has to be like that. Like I don't understand, and I feel like that limits roles for black actors too. Like, what did Michael B. Jordan say? He doesn't want to be a black actor. He just wants to be an actor.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Nah, that's definite. Like, but I mean, just being honest, will it ever be looked at that way? You know, that you're just an actor. Are
That
there
is a great
any
question.
like big black actors out there that they don't think of as, oh, he's the best black actor?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't know. I feel like Will Smith has maybe passed that threshold, but still, it's him being a black man is always going to be mentioned in his movies unless he's playing something other than that. Like if he's playing a monster or if he's playing even why does Shark Tales need why does Shark Tales need black stereotypes?
I never watched it. Now you make me want to watch it.
Why
Do they
does
really in the movie? In that
have,
cartoon movie?
have you seen what his character look? I guess his character is made to look like him,
I'm looking it up now.
and to be fair, all fish, well, fish don't have lips, but I mean, fish lips is a thing.
Hmm.
But Shark Tales is full of black stereotypes. but I don't know. Is it stereo? I mean, Dante, you've seen Shark Tales, right?
Oh, he got
Yeah.
lips on here.
So
Uh-huh.
would you say the way he acts is like just his personality as Will Smith coming through to the character, or would you say it's purposely written so you know that Marlon, his name is Marlon, I think in the movie, so you know that Marlon is supposed to be like a representation of a black person.
Yeah, it's more of a representation of a black person.
I feel like Shark Tales is the white Finding Nemo. I mean, Shark Tales is the black Finding Nemo.
Hmm. I'm definitely gonna be watching that now though.
Well,
Because if
that
you
would
look at Finding Nemo, the lips, the aneurysms, all that don't look nothing black.
again,
At
right?
all.
If you look at Finding Nemo, do Nemo got big ass lips?
Now you got regular fish face, and now I'm looking at this shark tail one over here, and Will Smith really got lips on this fish, bro. Dead.
Like
Okay.
big lips too, and it's wild to me, bro, because he's not the Angelina Jolie is in that movie, and she got big lips, but in the not like Will Smith's, right? She has like a white lady, like what you would consider lips for a white lady. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Nah, I get what you're saying there. Dang, that's just the way that I don't know. It's crazy though. Like just the way that is though. That's definitely crazy.
You see any other like are they trying to make the character look like Will Smith, or because he does look like eh,
Kinda.
kind of looks like Will Smith, but his lips are as big as his head in some scenes. And then you look at Angelina Jolie's character. I think her name is Angel or something like that. She's got
Uh-huh.
big lips in this in the sense like how women with lipstick have big lips, you know.
Yeah.
And then you look at some of the other characters; their lips are big, but not like his, and it's just it's just straight. That's all I'm pointing out. And there's Jamaican jellyfish.
Well, that's funny. Tentacles, dreads, and now that you just sit back and think
Yeah.
about that, that's yeah. Everything. I don't know. I feel like everything in this world has just come to everything has to be a stereotype pretty much now.
I feel like it's just a way to sell to a specific market, like you were saying before.
Yeah, I mean, because if we look at it, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If I look at a movie and I see, don't get me wrong, I watch everybody. You know, Adam Sandler, Liam Neeson, Tom Cruise. But if I see that Will Smith's heading that one, then I might go watch that one before I watch the other
Mhm.
one.
Yeah,
So yeah, no, I get that.
but the difference is to me that I've never seen a Will Smith movie I didn't like. I've never seen a Denzel Washington movie besides that most recent one that I didn't like. But there are Adam Sandler movies that I don't like. There are Tom Cruise movies that I don't like.
Yeah, and maybe it's because it actually is geared for the audience. If you just like kind of dissect it a little more, that's kind of looking like how it actually might be. Um,
It's
yeah, I
possible.
mean,
I just wonder if there was ever a movie that was written without a consideration for the race of the character.
I'm I'm gonna say is as of right now, just movies I'm thinking of and trying to think of. I'm gonna call cap on it because I don't. I feel like that's part of it in pretty much all the movies we watch.
So me personally, I don't know if it's on purpose, but there are movies with white leads where you could put a black person in there and it wouldn't affect the movie. But I don't think there are movies with black leads where you could put a white person there and it'll affect the movie. I mean, it won't affect the movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Whether I think I said it the right way, but yeah, I mean, now that I've never thought about it outside of this, but now that you brought it up, like I'm trying to think of it, and I'm not. Yeah, I can't think of that at all.
Well, that was my non-sports topic. So, well, let me go ahead and phrase the question correctly. Do Is it cap or facts that black actors can fit into movie roles that are acted in by, well, is it cap or facts that you could replace a white actor with a black actor without changing the story, but you can't replace a black actor with a white actor without changing the film, the story?
Oh, facts on that.
After talking about it, I'm going facts.
So you, DeAndre says facts. You can't do that. DeAndre, you say, I mean Dante, you say it's cap. You can do that.
No, I say facts.
Okay, so we all agree. You
We
cannot.
agree on this one.
You can't put a black. You can't put a white actor in a role that's already been acted by a black actor. It won't work. The story won't allow it.
So,
Yeah, majority of the stories won't. I'm thinking of movies like I can't think of a lot of movies where it would work.
But you can put a black actor in a role where a white actor has been the lead, and it still be the same movie.
I think so because I can put. I mean, let's just be real. I can probably put Wesley Snipes on the what Mission Impossibles. You know,
yeah.
he can do the action movies. I can see who Denzel being um what's the dude name, Liam Neeson in Taken. You know what I'm saying?
It's
I can
true.
see that, but I can't see. Yeah, like you said, I can't see Tom Cruise
Tom
coming in.
Cruise and Blade.
Yeah, I can't see that for some reason. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, or you can't see. Me personally, I can't see Liam Neeson as the equalizer.
Yeah.
Like just no change in any of the dialogue and any of the story. And I'm talking about the one and two. Like, could you imagine Liam Neeson pulling old dude out of the trap house?
Nah, I can't see it. Nah, I'm with y'all. I think we all agree on this one.
And that's
And I
wild to me.
never thought of it that way ever.
That's
That's
wild to me.
but like you said, why do they do it? They gotta get us to go to the movies too. Same way the president's gotta get us to go vote.
I
you
guess
know?
that's the case. I guess that's the case. I guess they don't want to take the chance of not doing that and losing a black audience when there's a black actor, when you could take the chance of doing it and get the regular audience plus black folks that don't usually go to the movies.
Yeah.
All right.
Nah, that makes sense.
Okay. What we got next? Let's all try to get a topic that is non-sports related, and then we could review.
In the first one that we all know.
That's
See,
tough.
Based off of the trailer, do you factor cap? You feel like it's gonna be better than the very first one?
listen, if we're being honest, the only thing that holds up with Mortal Kombat movies is the nostalgia of watching them as you were younger. In my opinion, the best part about watching those older Mortal Kombat movies was the setting
Hmm.
while you were younger in which you watched them in.
Yeah. Because I go
Probably
back and
surrounded by your cousins, probably fighting afterwards, whatever the case might be.
so you're saying the new ones should be better, like just based off of the movie.
Just based off of the trailer, the fact they actually gonna have real fatalities,
Yeah.
which they haven't done before, and I don't not done before extensively anyway. And the fact that technology is way more advanced, so it'll look better.
Hmm.
So I'm calling facts that the new one is gonna be better.
Yeah, I'm going facts with it just because of technology, but I won't lie. Sometimes they can get carried away with it, and it might not be as far as it. But I'm gonna go fact just based off of the trailer I've seen.
Yeah, I'm a fact that the trailer I've seen, based on just my visualization of the past and at the first Mortal Kombat just sitting in my room, whatever. I feel like it's better.
Okay.
All right, all right. So that was the easy one. All right, you got anything else, Dante? Or we need try to get one more topic in.
I ain't got nothing on top of my mind.
All right, all right. Well, let me try to think of something.
I'm thinking.
Horror, horror, or action.
Oh, you know where I
I ain't gonna
stand.
In any
for
genre,
action
and horror action
about
in
that
any
action.
genre, and why?
I'm going action.
hmm To me, I feel like as far as like action between action and horror, I feel like my blood and adrenaline pumps a little bit more for the action than the horror. Yeah, you got horror in certain situations through the movie, you get those jump scares, whatever have you, you know what I'm saying? But action, like, feel like makes me feel a little better about myself. Like I feel like I can do those things that they can do. Versus on a horror, come around the corner, and something jumps out and scares the living daylights out of me. Like
So
I
it's
feel like
easy for
action.
you to like escapism, right? You want to be able to see yourself in the character.
Yep.
Okay, I can feel that. What about you, DeAndre?
I'm going action because your boy is scared of scary movies. And don't let it say it's a true story because I'm not watching that unless it's like 8 in the morning. Action, I feel like, man, fuck it. I might can jump, off this moving car into the next one. But like you said, horror, I ain't trying to go through that or think about that or nothing. Don't get me wrong. I watch it. I watch it, but I'm not trying to think about it like that.
Okay. All right. Well, let me try to mix it up a little bit because I'm gonna tell you mine. Hands down, horror every
No,
time. Hands down, hands down, bro. And
over
I'm
an
not, and
action
I'm
movie.
not brave at all, bro. Bruh, I watched this movie called The Fourth Kind about alien abductions
Yeah.
in Alaska with the lady from Resident Evil.
I
hmm
ain't heard of
And
it.
at certain parts of the movie, because it's based on a true story, certain parts of the movie,
uh
they show the movie on one side of the screen, and then they show footage from the actual events on the other side of the screen. I watched that movie and I slept in our living room for like 3 weeks. Lights on,
See, I don't want to have to go through that. I don't feel like
lights
I
on, bro.
should.
But let me tell you why. That movie was great to me. Like that's like a good ass movie. Like you got what do you want from a movie? Do you want just I want that shit to like stick to me. I want to be thinking about it after I watch it. That's why Marvel movies are so good to me. Like, do you just want to just sit through a movie and that's like you take in the movie and then that's it, or do you want it to actually like impact you?
See, I'm not gonna lie. When I watch movies, I usually just take it in. So, like, speaking of the Marvel, like the most I think about the movies is like just the events that happen in it. Um, but that I guess because I don't know like more of the background of the stuff. But I
Yeah,
mean, I get.
this would
Huh?
be a perfect point for Eddie to be in here, but keep going and I'll try to do it. I'll try to explain.
So for me, it's like nah, like you said you wanted to stick with you. I'm fine with it sticking with you, but it definitely I wouldn't want horror sticking with me for real. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't want to be sitting back thinking about anything like that. Now I'll sit
Well,
back and think about action, but then again, like you said, with an action movie, you see it, you're wild, and you going about your business. So
yeah.
I,
And I think horror movies are more the most fun to watch with other people.
oh,
Why?
if we got a group, I watch
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean,
it.
like viewing it as a whole. Like, you know what I'm saying? Watching scary movies. Nah, I don't like to do that shit by myself as much as in a movie theater.
Now, if we're thinking about it that way, I'd rather watch a horror movie when I'm with Like if it's a like we having couples night or some stuff like that, I'd rather watch a horror movie because I feel like that's more engaging. Now, don't get yeah. If you put it that way, I would go with horror movies are definitely more engaging. They stick with you more.
Well,
Uh,
so and well, I'm trying to put it. Okay, so any way that like viewing a movie in like every aspect of viewing a movie, like you watch it with by yourself, you watch it with a group, you watch it just as something that's on in the background. Like, would action be like your top tier in that regard, like in all aspects of viewing movies?
yeah, I would say yes.
Like, if you had to average everything, like group viewing by yourself, just something to turn on in the background while you vacuuming.
Yeah, it definitely have to be action. I would, yeah. Horror, because horror movie, the only time I'm willing to watch those is if I'm at least with another person or two. So I will not turn it on otherwise. So
So
nah.
okay, so I know Dante don't like horror movies like that, or at least he didn't when we was growing up. Didn't like horror movies. But I remember watching horror movies um, in a group. I don't know if you remember, but we watched I Know What You Did Last Summer in
Yep,
the nail room, and that was fire to me. All we was doing was
I remember
talking
that.
about what was gonna happen next because it was a horror movie, but that movie was terrible. That was fire to me, and that's probably when I started liking horror movies. And then one time, one time at my brother's house, 13 Ghosts sounded so good to me that I watched it middle of the night downstairs in the living room, no lights on, and
Mm.
I stayed up all night because of that movie. And when you look back on it, that movie is not really a scary movie. It's closer to a comedy.
I'm not gonna cap. One of the most recent movies that's a horror that got to me was The Conjuring.
Yeah, that movie scary as shit.
I
That
still ain't
movie
saying
got
that
to
for a
me.
reason.
But but you like Haunted in Hill House. That shit scared the hell out of me.
But yeah, that movie to me, it scared the mess out of me, but I liked that. I liked it. Conjuring scared the mess out of me. I liked it to a certain extent, but I ain't sleep for like 4 days. Like,
But ain't that a true story, or are both of them true stories?
It's
uh,
iffy. Hill
yeah,
House ain't no true story, but Conjuring
no,
is based on a couple of psychics. Like one's a psychic, one's like a exorcist. Whether or not you think it's true, that's up to you. But I get why you yes, Conjuring is scary. But what do you think is different between a scary movie like that and a show like Hill House?
nothing really. The only thing about Hill House is they extended it, prolonged it further than an actual movie. Like you had what 11 episodes, something like that. They were all an hour a piece or something like 45 minutes to an hour a piece versus one movie that was an hour to 2 hours long. They
To
just
me,
extended the
yeah, and this is my thing because I think almost every episode of Hill House is scarier than The Conjuring. The Hanging Lady
I
episode,
I don't believe I know the first three or four. No, after like five, after like
when it started
episode
getting
five
rolling.
and on, yeah,
So that's what I'm like. And I'll go into it, and y'all can give me the 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 core of the action movie stuff. But the reason that I choose horror movies, right, is because the story. I've never seen a horror movie besides like a Scream, like where where there's a human killer.
mhm.
I've never seen a horror movie that didn't have an interesting story. Like, because I mystery is the best genre if we really want to get into it. To me, so that's where I'm coming from as far as horror is concerned. But as far as action is concerned, where are y'all coming from? Like, what's the core of that?
I mean, you can have action movies with mystery.
That's true.
That's yeah. So I can understand where like you say mystery is the best genre because there's so much to mystery that you can get out of it. You can get horror, you can get action, you can get um like a sense of understanding. Like there's so much you can do with mystery. I can understand in the grand scheme of things, mystery is the master genre, and you can break it off in these subcategories, whereas horror, action, you know what I'm saying, knowledge, whatever would have you. Like you can break it off into the subcategories. I just feel like as far as action, it makes me want to do something. Like versus horror, it's just fear. You know what I'm saying? Like you just overall totality of fear. Like you don't want to do anything. As far as action, like I can be like, "Man, I can jump from that car to that building. I can do that. Like,
So it's like
or I
it's
can,
like
yeah,
a
I
different
can do
type of
those hand
excitement.
to hand combat moves and drop a guy. Like I can do that. Like it's the dude behind it versus a horror movie where you're like, like yeah, I ain't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I want to come around that corner. Somebody jump out. Gotta kill
So it's kind of like where it's okay. So it's kind of like action is like a voluntary excitement, where horror is like involuntary. It forces your
yeah,
excitement level.
for sure.
All right, I get that. I get that. What about you, DeAndre?
I don't know. Action movies wow me, whereas I don't know. I feel like I would rather be wowed. Like, oh, how they do that until they take the shit overboard, like The Rock holding a helicopter with a chain. But like just regular action movies, I'm like, wow, okay, I can see that. Versus me going to watch a horror movie, like wanting to look over my shoulder, or if a string is loose on my pant on my shorts and it hit my leg, I'm jumping up and down. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's where it go to for me. Like, would I rather be wild and like, damn, that was tight, or would I rather be like, fuck, what the hell was that? Or you know,
Paranoid.
paranoid as hell. That's where it comes from. Now I watch horror movies, but it's just not something I just run and go to be excited to watch or anything like that. It takes a while.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. All right. Well, I wanted to have Eddie in here because we could have talked about Marvel and like what the draw to those types of movies are outside of just being action movies about superheroes. But he's not here. Maybe when he
I
is
feel
done.
like a lot of them would have a lot to say. If you get into Marvel, anime, DC, now that's where your conversation kickers are really gonna go crazy.
I,
Those faster caps that we
all right,
Yeah.
we'll figure it out.
Hey, are y'all gonna be going by your gamer names? Cause I can switch mine.
I just put my